This universe is only one of an infinite number, worlds without end, some benevolent and life-giving, others filled with malice and hunger, dark places where powers older than time lie ravenous and waiting. Who are you in this vast universe, Mr. Strange? Welcome to the Pixel Pop Movie Podcast. I'm your host for this episode, Toby. With me this episode, I'm joined by the Folds Time and Space, Ethan.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, it's me. I like that. Yeah.
And the will hunt down every last magician and slay them, Barney.
I like that too. I just like the difference.
Our topic of conversation for this episode is the merging of Marvel Multiverses. There's been some rumours, and we also recently had an interesting announcement regarding Spider-Man. We'll save that for the topic though. It doesn't mean it's happening, but there's an awful lot of interesting stuff going around that we want to discuss, and then from that we can sort of say, hey, if this happens, what does it mean? Yada yada yada. We'll save that for later. We got a lot of news to get through actually. It's been 3 weeks and it's really stockpiled. Fortunately, some of it's kind of as movies have gotten pushed back, but some have come forward, so we've got some good and some bad. So let's not wait any longer. Please take us away, Ethan.
First bit of news is Dune is moving till December next year.
Damn.
I'm happy for this because it means I don't have to hear Toby talk about it this year.
No, but it also means you got to listen to me for another whole year while I wait.
I suppose.
Did they say? I mean, is it just COVID, or are they taking more time for editing or post production? Or
I would say it's probably like COVID because it was supposed to open up on December 18th, but Warner Bros has moved Wonder Woman there.
To be considering how much stuff has been pushed back,
too close.
I think a lot of it is just studios are going, look, we could put it in the cinema now. Stuff is starting to reopen, but we know we're not going to make the money that we want to make.
Yeah.
Just yet. And I think that's the hold up because I mean, Tenet is starting to get its cash back, but it's super slow.
Oh yeah. And No Time to Die, the latest Bond one, that's been pushed back to next year again as well. So there's a couple more we'll get to soon on that. Next we have, now this is a big one. Jonathan Majors, who you most likely know as Atticus in Lovecraft Country at the moment, is apparently going to have a major role in the next Ant-Man movie.
Okay.
Now it's rumored to be playing Kang the Conqueror. That's what he's apparently going to be playing.
Okay.
That's super interesting. If that's true, oh boy.
So this is very interesting if it's Kang. And he'll no doubt, I doubt he's not going to be one that's like, oh, he's in this movie and dies at the end. He's probably going to be the next Thanos-sized villain for the MCU.
Okay.
Because Kang's big. He's big.
Okay. I'll wait for Galactus, but sure.
Yeah, Galactus will be a little while off.
Yeah. Anyway.
Next we have a pirate comedy called Our Flag Means Death has been ordered at HBO Max. Taika Waititi will direct it. Will direct the pilot.
Okay, I don't know anything about this.
Okay, the show is loosely based on the true adventures of Stead Bonnet, a pampered aristocrat who abandoned his life of privilege to become a pirate in the early 18th century.
Okay. All right, well, if Taika's involved, it'd probably be funny at least.
Yeah, definitely. Next we have Richard Madden, who you know from Game of Thrones, starring in the upcoming Eternals, which has been delayed till November 21st next year. Has teased that there's some major unannounced actors in the Eternals movie.
Oh.
One of these is heavily rumoured to be Harry Styles. He's rumoured to be playing Star Fox, who's the brother of Thanos.
That's disappointing.
But there's also Keanu Reeves has been teased for quite a long time for Eternals as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Feige probably wanted Keanu in there for a long time. It's just finding the right role.
Well, yeah, apparently they've talked to him for almost every movie.
Doesn't surprise me. Yeah,
Keanu.
That does not surprise me.
Yeah.
He's very bankable.
Oh, yeah, very.
Yeah.
So that's interesting to find out, but we have to wait a whole year for that now, which we'll go into those delays.
All right. There's a bunch of Marvel Disney stuff.
Yeah. So Black Widow was originally supposed to come out in April this year and then got delayed till November. Has now been delayed until May next year.
Wow.
Eternals was supposed to, Eternals we were supposed to get November this year has been delayed till November next year. And Shang-Chi, which was supposed to come out in February next year, has been delayed till July next year.
Yeah, so everything's sort of gotten about a 6-month nudge.
Which I find interesting, the fact that Eternals was supposed to come out before Shang-Chi, yet now Shang-Chi comes out before Eternals.
That's true. Lucas thankfully put up a list of new dates for a bunch of movies. I'm just going to bang through this super fast.
Yeah.
So, 2020, The Empty Man, October 23rd. Soul, November 20th. Free Guy, December 11th. I think it's actually 10 here in Australia. Death on the Nile, December 18. Then 2021, everybody's talking about Jamie, Jan 22nd. The King's Man, Feb 12. Raya and the Last Dragon, March 12. Bob's Burgers, April 9. Ron's Gone Wrong, April 23. Black Widow, May 7. Cruella, May 28. Luca, June 18. Shang-Chi, July 9. Jungle Cruise, July 30, Deepwater, August 13, Beatles Get Back, August 27th, The Last Duel, October 15, Eternals, November 5th, and West Side Story, December 10. Thank you very much, Lucas, for doing some homework.
Yeah, thanks to Lucas for that.
Thanks for Lucas for that. All right.
Next we have Synchronic, a movie with Anthony Mackie in it. I haven't watched the trailer for this. I think Lucas...
You shared it, I think.
No, I didn't share it.
You didn't share it? Oh, okay. Well, Lucas isn't here because he exploded into a ball of fire and caught COVID, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's the new one with Anthony Mackie. I'll search up what it's about. The lives of 2 paramedics in New Orleans ripped apart after this series of horrific deaths are caused by a designer drug.
Okay, which is...
It's a science fiction, time-bending, all this sort of shit.
Okay. Was it cinemas or streaming service, do we know?
Cinemas it's supposed to be.
Alright. Wait and see. Okay.
Next we have Love and Monsters, which was filmed in Australia. It stars Dylan O'Brien, Jessica Henwick, I'm pretty sure it's Michael Rooker in there. It says 7 years after the monster apocalypse, Joel Dawson along with the rest of humanity has been living underground ever since giant creatures took control of the land.
Oh, this is an Ethan movie.
After reconnecting over radio with his high school girlfriend, who is now 80 miles away at a coastal colony, Joel begins to fall for again. As Joel realizes there's nothing left from underground, he decides against all logic to venture out to Amy, despite all the dangerous monsters that stand in the way. It was supposed to come to the cinemas, and I think it's moved to VOD, and it should be out, October 16th, so 10 days.
Okay, nice. Yeah, well, I mean, if it's a big monster movie, that's something you love. Otherwise, it could very much be like a Fallout movie. You know, where they tell you the surface is terrible, and then you get to the surface, and it's not what you got told at all. So who knows? Unless the trailer shows. Does the trailer show big monsters?
Yeah, it's like a bunch of different types of monsters.
Oh, well, in that case, it's an Ethan
movie.
They're
not kaiju size one.
Okay.
They're not kaiju size.
Oh, okay.
But
that's sad.
Big monsters.
Oh, that's good. It's still an Ethan movie then.
I mean, they still could be kaiju size.
Yeah, I mean, maybe something bigger comes along and goes num-nums.
Yeah.
All right.
Another trailer for Sound of Metal, starring Riz Ahmed.
This is a story about a young man who's in a heavy metal band. He plays drums and he loses his hearing, and it's coming to terms with that and dealing with that, and then sort of moving on with life and finding a new purpose. And it sort of looks like one of those sad then feel good kind of films. Just from the trailer, you could tell that Riz Ahmed's going to put in a solid performance. So it's probably stream it one night with your significant other kind of film.
Oh, The Craft: The Legacy, coming on demand on October 28th. It's a Blumhouse, Halloween, witches, all that sort of stuff.
This is it not? This is like a reboot of the original Craft.
Oh no, I've never heard of The Craft before.
It's a sequel.
Yeah, or the sequel rather, whatever it is. It's directly connected to, The Craft Legacy is directly connected to the original Craft movie with Shannon Doherty and all that crap. It's from a million years ago when you were like 6 months old.
I was 3.
Yeah.
3, actually.
Yeah. Yep.
I was 6.
Yep. So I think it was like a mid-90s film. It had a bit of a cult following, and now they're doing something more with it. So on demand, October 28th, for those that love the original, have at it.
David Duchovny is in it as well.
Yeah. He's now 128 years old.
Yeah. Next we have Borat 2.
Yeah, this came out of nowhere like a fucking freight train.
The Borat subsequent movie film delivery of prodigious bribe to American regime for make benefit once glorious nation of Kazakhstan.
I'm not going to watch it, but great.
I'll watch it.
I can't do cringe humor.
Yeah.
It makes me so uncomfortable. And I know it's supposed to, but it still makes me uncomfortable. I can't do it. I'll watch the highlights.
Well, apparently he said he can ruin someone's political career with this film.
Yeah.
So see what that's like.
Anyway.
It was dropped today. Second trailer for Free Guy, starring Ryan Reynolds, Taika Waititi, among others.
Yeah, so this is some happy news too, because this is coming out this year.
Yeah, it's still December, I think.
Yes.
December 11th.
Yep. So it looks good. Looks funny. Yep. I mean, I'm not sure if I'd go... Well, see, normally I wouldn't see it at the cinema, but because it's been 1,000 years since I've been to the cinema, I might.
Yeah, same.
But yeah, it looks funny. It looks good.
For our last trailer, WandaVision.
Yeah. Now, this was an interesting trailer that people have, like, frame by frame, the shit out of.
Yeah.
There's an awful lot in here. So this is coming to Disney Plus.
No date yet.
No date yet? Okay.
It's this year.
Right.
But no specific date.
I mean, in summary, it looks like it's very much like you've hypothesized and others. It looks like a world created by Scarlet Witch, and through this, it looks towards as you watch. It looks like Vision starts to realize that it's fake.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's sort of it looks like it starts sort of like in sepia tones, and then slowly moves through the ages and becomes more and more color. So it sort of goes from like a 50s to a 60s to a 70s to an 80s. And over the course of it, it looks like things start going wrong. Like whether Wanda's losing control of the illusion or... But there's the dinner scene when questions are asked and...
Yeah.
It's pretty...
I love the fact that they got Kitty from fucking that 70s show in there.
Yeah.
Oh, they were fucking great.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're going to see more of that. Clearly, it looks like Wanda has binged a shitload of TV when she was kept in detention by Stark.
Yeah.
And she's using that to create this false reality. What I don't understand is what is the trigger for that, though. We guess we'll have to wait and see and maybe that'll be part of what's explained. Yeah. Because when we last saw her, at the end of Endgame, she was fine.
Yeah.
So we don't know what's triggered this... Whether she's had a nervous breakdown, dealing with the loss of vision, or we don't know. Maybe, who knows?
I have a theory, and can I say the theory?
I think you can say the theory. I mean, it's fine. It could be wrong.
So, the character played by Catherine Hahn has been called Agnes. There's a character in the comic books called Agatha Harkness, who is a tutor for Scarlet Witch to use witchcraft in that.
She's an actual witch,
and
yeah.
she manipulates Wanda for her own use, pretty much in the comics. But she's also using her for Immortus. Immortus in the comic is another version of Kang the Conqueror. So what I think happens in this show is that there's two things that I think happen. She's in a sword facility on Earth. She's doing voluntary experiments because her powers came from the Mind Stone, so they're trying to replicate the energy from that. And she freaks out and creates alternate reality. Agnes, Agatha Harkness, is trying to sabotage it for her own gain and things like that. Now, Monica Rambeau, who's in the show, she was a little girl in Captain Marvel. She was Captain Marvel's best friend. She's in this as an adult. Now, in the comics, she also has powers. So
she becomes a Ms. Marvel, doesn't she?
Something like that.
Yeah.
I'll find out.
Pretty sure she becomes Ms. Marvel.
She becomes... Oh, she's second Captain Marvel.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And she also gets known as Photon or Pulsar Spectrum. She has a couple of different names. So she's in there. And there's a scene in the trailer where you see her flying out of Wanda's reality and into the real world.
Yep.
Now, I think what happens is that she gets her power from Wanda. Like, Wanda does something and causes an explosion.
Rather than
she gets her power like
Marvel.
what Captain Marvel.
Yeah,
how Captain Marvel got hers from the Space Stone. I think something like that happens.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have to wait and see. It's an interesting one, and it's that trailer really... Because the first trailer just sort of made you laugh and go, what the hell's this? This trailer really makes you go, ooh, some shit's going on. And it was a good trailer. Yeah,
but moving on to some more Marvel news, Tatiana Maslany will play She-Hulk in Disney+.
Yeah, confirmed.
You might know her from Orphan Black, which is a fucking great TV show. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's really good. And she is really good at that.
She-Hulk's going to be interesting because because this is also one of the first shows that have been announced that isn't already tied into the MCU. It's a new character.
Yeah.
Because obviously WandaVision, we know these characters. Obviously, Winter Soldier and all that, we know those characters. Like Loki, we know that character. This is the first time we've got a brand new character. Interesting. Going to be kind of really interested to see how she ties into the existing MCU, or whether it's going to be more like a Netflix thing. I mean, I'm hoping they tie her in.
It'll be all proper MCU.
I hope so.
Kevin Feige's all behind it, and all the Disney Plus stuff is proper MCU.
I hope so.
Mark Ruffalo said he's had talks about being in it.
Well, yeah, you got to have him in there at some point.
Yeah. She's his cousin, so he's got to be there.
Yeah. Ah, yeah, yeah.
Next, we have Raised by Wolves. It's been renewed for a season 2 at HBO Max.
Yeah, have you watched any of this?
No, because all the religious stuff puts me off watching stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well,
So I haven't started it
it's not really a folk. It's there was a war on Earth between people who were religious and then atheists.
Yeah.
But that's really about it. It's more of a science fiction thing. I've been enjoying it. I think I've got like 1 or 2 episodes left in the season and then it's done. It's nowhere near like Lost, but there's definitely a lot of questions like where kind of, you know where they are, but like what is this place? What does it, how is it having an impact? You know, things like, are they all dead? Are they in purgatory? Like all this, are they in hypersleep? Like there's a lot of that, which is kind of neat. And a lot of the science fiction is kind of like The Expanse, where it's a lot more grounded. So if you liked The Expanse and you like that more grounded science fiction rather than, you know, sound in space, then this could be something for you. Shut up, Barney. Barney talks too much. Have you noticed that, Ethan? Like, we can't get a word in.
No, not at all.
I'll put in my 2 cents when it's necessary.
Harry Styles, who starred in 1950s queer love story.
Yeah, see, I don't like Harry Styles.
Policeman.
2 cents.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, well, there you go. So he's not going to say anything now. John Boyega, to star in Gavin Hood-directed drama The Test.
Yeah, so this is the guy who did Wolverine Origins and Ender's Game. But he did do Eye in the Sky, which wasn't bad, which I've seen. Yeah,
John Boyega and Payman Marty star in the Gavin Hood drama about a soft-spoken immigrant taking a citizen evaluation test, and a brilliant young behavioral psychologist played by Boyega supervising the test confront a terrorist group led by a far-right fanatic.
It sounds political, which is probably right up Boyega's alley at the moment. He seems to be wanting to get, like, you've seen him on Twitter and stuff, like he wants to be political. Like he's just dived straight into it. So this sounds like he's kind of filmed, to be honest.
Into some sad news for me and Toby. The Dark Crystal Age of Resistance has been cancelled after 1 season.
Yeah, but I mean, hopefully it was enough that we'll still see that second Dark Crystal film that's been banging around for 20 years.
Yeah,
I'd be nice.
So.
But I mean, and the thing is too, like, I can't imagine that. I cannot imagine for 1 minute that the Jim Henson Company just burned all those dolls after they were done.
Oh, hell no.
So, like, in terms of if Jim Henson, assuming they could get the rights back or whatever have you, I don't know what the contracts are like, if they were allowed to go off and do their own thing, they could probably save an awful lot of money in that, you know, you're going to have to touch up some of those Gelflings to look like completely different characters. So, you know, maybe. Let's stay optimistic and say, hey, you know, this may help them get the movie done at least.
Next we have Warcraft 2 is rumoured to be happening at Legendary.
Why?
I don't know.
Why not? They made a ton of money. Like, why wouldn't they make a second one?
Well,
the first one was shit.
In China.
It made a lot in China. Blizzard showed us love China right now.
Like, oh, it made a lot of movie in China? Well, that's all the reason they need to make a Warcraft 2, man.
Yeah.
But they also did just auction off a bunch of stuff from the movie, props and armor and all that sort of stuff. This is no way confirmed.
No, it's just a rumor. It's just a rumor.
Yeah, it's just a big heavy rumor.
Yeah.
Next, we have James Gunn is doing
Peacemaker.
a live-action series for HBO Max based on Peacemaker from his upcoming Suicide Squad film starring John Cena.
Yep. This is going to be a standalone John Cena show.
Yeah, I think it's prequel. Well, I don't know if it's prequel or sequel to the Suicide Squad movie, but it's to do with that character anyway.
He looks like a blend of sort of Judge Dredd and Punisher.
Yeah, kinda.
I don't like it when John Cena plays serious characters. I think he's at his best when he does do like comedic characters because it's just so jarring from his usual self.
I really feel like Peacemaker's serious though.
I think it's testimony to people like Cena. I mean, he's been acting for a while, and Dwayne Johnson and Batista and others. Like they've proven that while there's, especially in the 90s, there was definitely a stigma attached to WWE wrestlers, and WWF was making some horrible movies and all this sort of shit, like, you know, that you can make the transition and you can be a good actor.
Yeah.
And power to them. And I think Cena has a lot of potential, and I am keen to see what he can do with media roles. Anyway,
Zack Snyder's apparently planning some new Justice League reshoots.
Yeah, we expected that to happen.
We're not sure, but so apparently it said that Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot, and Ray Fisher are coming back for this. Henry Cavill has come out and said, no, I'm not coming back for this. Ray Fisher has, since, because he's got a lot of stuff going on with Warner Bros., has pretty much said that these reports are false and that they're trying to divert attention from what he's got going on with Warner Bros. And Jason Momoa has been backing him with that as well.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's still going to wait till next year for this, but I'm looking forward to it.
Lion King 2, live action prequel movie about Mufasa is coming.
Yep. Because, of course...
Why?
Well, because the original sequel in the animated was a sequel, wasn't it? It was like the son of Simba.
Yeah.
So now we're going the other direction. So
Right. See, this is a movie that I ask why.
Yeah.
No one's asked for this.
no.
No, I made enough money. That's enough. That's ask enough.
So dumb. And it's live action too. So dumb.
I like how we call this shit live action though, when it's like 99% CG.
Yeah, CGI.
Now, how is this live
Real
action?
lion.
That's like
They haven't
calling.
trained a lion to like actually sing.
Yeah, it's like Blinky Bill fucking is live action or something. It's like, or Roger Rabbit's live action. I mean, technically it is, but at the same time, like the lead character's a cartoon. Like, come on, guys.
Or Paddington Bear.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, where he's stop motion. Yeah, exactly. Fuck. Yeah. We need to stop calling this live action. It's a hybrid action. There we go. I'm going to copyright that shit. I'm going to copyright that phrase. I'm going to trademark that shit, and then I'm going to charge Disney for it. It's a hybrid action film. Haha.
So now we have Matrix 4 has got Daniel Bernhardt to return as his agent character from The Matrix Reloaded.
Yeah, Agent Johnson. So he's the one with the more square jaw and the slightly bigger build. He's coming back. That's kind of cool. I mean, it wasn't a major role, but he's probably going to be the lead nasty. I can't see Hugo coming back, so this is probably going to be the lead.
That's the thing. So Hugo talked to the Wachowski, whichever one it was that's doing this one, and he was going to come back, but he's doing a stage play at the same time, so he can't come back for it. Otherwise, if he had worked the schedules around, Hugo would have 100% been back as Agent Smith.
Okay, well, looks like that part's now going to be handed down to Johnson, so the Agent Johnson. So chance for Daniel Bernhardt to sort of steal some limelight. Yeah.
Announced today, Glow Season 4 is being cancelled due to COVID.
Good, fuck off. Next.
The Batman has been delayed till March 2022 now.
Damn.
Rather than October 2021.
Damn.
Pretty hype after that trailer. Like, I didn't really like Robert Pattinson in anything he does, but this...
What?
Yeah, this could be his Red Dead Redemption.
What? I'm sorry. What? Have you not watched The Lighthouse?
I have not seen The Lighthouse.
Do you have Amazon Prime?
No, I do not have Amazon Prime.
Well, then I would suggest you get on the Pirate Bay and download fucking thing, The Lighthouse. Yeah, he's been doing some, like, Pato's been doing some mad art house shit for years, and his acting ability is incredible.
It's not that I don't like him as an actor. I just don't like him.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm not questioning his acting ability.
Right. Okay. I thought you were, because too many people just go, but wasn't he a sparkly vampire? And it's like, oh, fuck off, man. Come on.
I mean, that is gonna haunt him. Like, to be fair, that is gonna haunt him.
Of course. But this is the biggest. I mean, this is going to be the first mainstream film that people have, who haven't watched his art house stuff are going to come and see and go, okay, he's not a vampire. He's vengeance.
He's just a bat.
Keen for this film. Anyway, moving along.
The Flash has been delayed 5 months to November 2022, but they haven't even started filming it, so...
It's like 2 years away. Like, the cast is going to be 50 by the time they start filming, for fuck's sake. Seriously, it's been, like, but since... When did they start filming Justice League? And by the time they start this, it's literally going to be like 6 years or some shit between the two. Like, everyone's going to be visibly older.
Well, here's the thing. So, Shazam 2 has been delayed till June 2023, so the kids in that are going to be a hell of a lot older.
Yeah. It's talking about fucking, again, like 5-6 years. Like, you're going to have to recast or CG the shit out of it. Like, what?
Or explain, the time skip.
Yeah. Next we have Iman Vellani is going to play Ms. Marvel in the series for Disney+.
There you go. So they are going to introduce the Ms. Marvel character.
Yep.
Nice.
She hasn't been in anything before. It's like her first thing.
Yeah, Disney's not afraid of that.
Nah, not at all. And some more, Samuel L. Jackson is returning to the MCU for a Nick Fury Disney Plus show.
Yes. This is probably more interesting to me than Ms. Marvel or She-Hulk, because Nick Fury, to me, has been more of a mysterious character, and I think there's a lot more there I would like to learn about that character.
So this last bit of news we can't talk about until we...
Start the topic of conversation? Okay, well,
Yeah.
let's just quickly... Because that was a lot of news. Holy shit, that was massive. Just quickly, really quickly, what have you been watching since we last spoke, Ethan?
I watched a couple of movies. I watched Paddington on the weekend. Hadn't seen that before.
Nice.
I watched, what was it called? Abominable. That was on an animated one.
Okay.
About people who they're like in China somewhere and they find an abominable snowman, so they go return him to the Himalayas to his family. I watched The Missing Link, which was an animated one about Hugh Jackman taking a Sasquatch from America to the Himalayas so he can meet his Yeti cousins. That was pretty good.
Yep.
I think that's it. I'm just looking through my usual where I watch stuff. I've still been watching The Boys. One episode left comes out this week. Excited for that.
Yes.
That's about it.
All right, Barney, just quickly, what have you been watching, mate? Any movies at the cinema or any TV shows on streaming services?
No, not lately. I've kind of been on the down low, so I'll probably catch up sometime this week or next week. Just let it all build up.
Yeah, fair enough. I've been watching Boys like Ethan has, keen for the last episode or the next episode. It's coming along really nicely. There's been some good twists and turns. I watched, it was on Netflix, that Richard Jewell, I think it was called. It was about the bombing at the...
Clint Eastwood one, yeah.
Yeah, really good, worth the watch. I mean, well, having said that, if you're into that kind of thing, it's a, a courtroom drama. Well, there's actually not a lot of court in it, but it's that kind of film. Based on a true story. Yeah, really enjoyable. Sat down and watched it with the wife. I've been watching Raised by Wolves. Got 1 or 2 episodes left in that. Apart from that, probably got back more into games last few weeks, so I haven't watched as much TV. But, yeah. Let's move in then to our topic of conversation, because it's going to be... I can see it going on for a while. It's a bit of an interesting one. And that is the merging of Marvel Multiverses. So there's a few things that led us to sort of this topic of conversation. One of them is here and now, one of them is factual, and that's this piece of news, which is
Spider-Man 3, Jamie Foxx returning as Electro.
Yeah. What do you reckon of that, buddy?
Yeah.
This has some interesting connotations, because we've never...
I mean, let's just clear too. This is not a different character. This is the exact same actor as the exact same character.
So when this news broke, everyone's like, "Holy fuck! What the fuck is going on?" Jamie Foxx put a thing up on his Instagram confirming he was coming back as Electro. He swiftly deleted it before some people could get a screen cap. He said this time around he won't be blue. So I think he's playing the same character, just not the one from Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Right.
This character just looks like Jamie Foxx, and like what they did with J.K. Simmons playing J. Jonah Jameson at the end of Spider-Man Far From Home. It's the same thing, same character, different universe.
But you could argue that
he's going to be in more traditional Electro garb, the green and gold.
Yeah, he might be, or it might be like a mechanical thing.
The thing is, though, at the end of the day, that JJ character is played by an actor. It's still JJ. Yeah. And it's like, well, this is still Jamie Foxx playing Electro. Now, yeah, it could be a different Electro. It could be an Electro. Obviously, it's Electro in this dimension, but it still adds credibility to the whole MCU. And let's be honest, if Marvel and Sony in this instance are prepared to recast actors who have played that character before, then it certainly sets a precedence, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
Because this has not happened before. I mean, apart from that JJ cameo, this has not happened before, as far as I'm aware.
No, it hasn't.
Now, we know that Doctor Strange 2 has called the Multiverse of Madness.
Stuff.
We know that. We know it's going to specifically deal with multiverse. It's in the fucking title, right? Now, there's been... This is where we sort of take some salt with a lot of this. There has been a number of rumours, and they are only rumours, but there have been a number of rumours that Feige, in particular, is looking to hire actors and actresses as alternates to the Avengers that we know. One of those that's getting banged around, and it's just a rumor, is that they're looking at Tom Cruise to play an alternate Tony Stark.
Tom Cruise was originally going to play Tony Stark in the first Iron Man.
Yeah, now, obviously that was a long time ago, and he went, fuck you, I'm going to do my own thing. Marvel's changed a lot in the last, 10 years. That's an extremely lucrative role for any actor. I don't care what your caliber is right now. That's an extremely lucrative payday and acting gig. Now, that's all rumors. It's just rumors, but there's, as I said, there's been a lot of talk about Faye going out and getting... I mean, we're seeing, Jane becoming female Thor, for instance, right? But there's no reason why we couldn't have... And we've talked about multiverses sort of folding in, like, how do you bring mutants in and that sort of stuff. We've talked about that before. And it almost feels... I think it's almost inevitable that we're going to start seeing some multiverse leakage.
So I have a list up here of the people who auditioned for the MCU roles and who didn't get it.
Okay.
So what if they were to bring back one of these people as the alternate versions?
Mm-hmm.
So let's say for Thor. So Iron Man, Tom Cruise was set to play, then he dropped out. Nicolas Cage and Sam Rockwell were on the short list, as well as Robert Downey Jr.
Right. I don't think you can do Rockwell now because, of course, he was Hammer.
You can't do
Please bring Hammer back. Jesus Christ. Even if it's in the TV shows. I loved Rockwell, and I thought the character of Hammer was... his company crops up in the TV shows and places where he's obviously selling weapons still.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. So the guy who's pretty reliable for leaks and stuff on Twitter says that they still have plans to use Justin Hammer. And I feel like they might end up doing that with the Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts are going to be a thing, apparently. So Thor, people who auditioned for Thor is Alexander Skarsgård, Joel Kinnaman, Charlie Hunnam, and Liam Hemsworth. Now, if you got Liam Hemsworth in to play Thor,
that'd be interesting.
That'd be pretty fucking funny.
I don't think Liam Hemsworth's a strong enough actor though to play the part.
Maybe not. Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind. I've seen his romantic comedies. I just don't think he's got the charisma required to play that part. And I think if you cast him in his brother's role, it won't work. I definitely feel like they should be going with the female Thor angle. I think that would work so much better.
Could be, yeah. For Black Widow, there was Emily Blunt was the top, and I think she passed and went to Scarlett Johansson. So having Emily Blunt there as a Black Widow would be interesting.
Yep.
John Krasinski, who's married to Emily Blunt.
Yep, he sure is.
He got far with Captain America and his audition, but he said once that he pretty much got to the point where he was trying on the suit in a room at Marvel. Chris Hemsworth walked past with his shirt off, something like that, and John Krasinski was like, "Nah, I'm good," and he stopped there and he's like, "I didn't go past that." He got to the point of trying the costume on. He saw how ripped and buff Chris Hemsworth was, and he's like, "Nah, this isn't for me."
Which is funny because I'm pretty sure he got pretty toned up for Jack
Ryan. Or
Jack Ryan, like I'm pretty sure there's a shirt off scene in that, and he's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
So that's funny. That's funny.
Ryan Philippe and Garrett Hedlund also auditioned for Captain America.
Right.
Now, what if Hulk was played by Edward Norton again in another universe?
Oh my god.
What if?
Oh man.
Oh my god.
What if Terrence Howard came back as Rhodey?
Yeah, what if Terrence Howard back as Rhodey for one?
Jeff Bridges comes back.
No. Bring back Eric Banner.
No, that would be so good.
I think. Look,
if they brought back Eric Banner for that, that'll be fucking great.
Well, the other advantage is if Sony are talking to Marvel, right? And let's say Marvel, let's just say for a minute that Marvel are like, okay, we're going to do some universe folding. We're going to start getting a little wild here. That does then give Sony an opportunity to go, we get to do a live action Spider-Verse, essentially, a pass at it.
Yeah.
You could do Miles.
Yep.
You could do Gwen. that, I mean, look, at some point, they're going to have to do a live action Miles. You just have to. You can't not.
Wait, he's already been teased in Homecoming, so...
Yeah, I think if you get a universe collapsing, kind of a multiverse collapsing event, although Doctor Strange 2 is when? I mean, wasn't it supposed to be before? Originally it was before WandaVision, wasn't it?
No, WandaVision was always first.
Okay, I was going to lead into Doctor Strange 2, but we don't have a date.
Wanda's a big character in Doctor Strange 2.
Yeah, but we don't even have a date for Doctor Strange 2.
Yeah, we do. Give me a sec.
Fuck, amazing year, 400 billion?
14,905,000, whatever it is.
Right.
Doctor Strange 2 is March 25th, 2022.
Right, so you're going to get Eternals and everything else first.
Yep.
But that's fine, because Spider-Man 3 is not going to be until after Doctor Strange 2, no matter what.
Nope, Spider-Man 3 is December 17th, 2021.
Right.
So the rumor is that shit goes to hell in WandaVision, and you see fallout from that in Spider-Man, and then it gets wrapped up in Doctor Strange.
So what if it falls apart in WandaVision, and that flows into your MCU movies, everything's falling apart, and then maybe it's the other way around. Maybe Multiverse of Madness, it gets to a point where it's so fucked up that Doctor Strange is now trying to fix it all.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So WandaVision fucks it up. Spider-Man deals with all the fucking up shit, and then Doctor Strange wraps it up. It finishes up in that.
Yeah. That could work. But during that process, you can then sow the seed for mutants, you can sow the seed for vampires and whatever else.
Well, mutants come from Eternals anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, we've also got Eternals between all this too. Like, we've got WandaVision's, like, ideally this year, Eternals is next year. So, yeah, we could literally open Pandora's box with WandaVision, where everything goes tits up, and Wanda's just made a complete fucking mess.
We also don't know when WandaVision is, when Eternals is set in the MCU timeline.
This is true.
It's gonna span thousands of years. We don't know where it's gonna end.
Yeah.
Shang-Chi is heavily rumored to be during the blip, during the snap, the 5 years.
Yep.
That's when Shang-Chi is heavily rumored to be set.
Right.
So Eternals, we don't know where that falls. So Eternals might not have anything to do with it at all. I'd say it probably doesn't, the fact that it's already done.
Yep. Okay.
Unless it's been delayed a whole year because they want to try and do some reshoots before it comes out next year to include some of that, maybe.
Right, so how would you feel, Barney, to have a film where, even if it's only a short scene, if Tom Cruise was playing an alternate dimension Iron Man?
Give me any kind of alternate dimension, kind of like messed upness, and like I'm hooked. Was it they recently did Flashpoint in the Flash TV series where they, all converged together, and Ezra's character of Flash actually showed up.
Yeah.
So to have like even an alternate timeline of say Tom Cruise as Iron Man, or Ryan Felipe as Captain America, or even have like Ryan Reynolds show up randomly as anyone. Just have it.
Now, what's that classic scene where Deadpool's like, we've got Holland, and then there's like, and then Andrew Garfield walks past brushing his teeth, and then Toby Maguire calls out from the fucking,
oh my God,
the kitchen going, anyone want some breakfast?
During the Spider-Man movie, or even at the end, like if they have Andrew Garfield and Toby Maguire just appear, and it's like, this is messed up. That
Spider-Verse animated show, the older Spider-Man, is heavily implied to be Tobey Maguire, if I'm not mistaken.
No. So the older one is an amalgamation of all three of the live-action ones.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So all the things it shows him doing are things from all three movies.
Because remember too,
your Spider-Man there is.
Because if you remember too, this kind of ties in well with. They also announced a What If TV series on Disney Plus. Now that really allows for things to go even more crazy, where, say, Doctor Strange is peering into multiverses looking for someone or something, and he pops into a reality where whatever, Punish has killed all the supers, or they're all fucking zombies, or whatever you want. Like, you can start doing some really bizarre shit, and rather than just doing a comic book where you would just go, okay, what if? Well, I know this is a standalone thing. It's not canon. It's just a laugh. By having it as Doctor Strange bumping through realities, you can make the whole thing kind of almost canonical, where, you know, you could then have Avengers 4 later on, and Doctor Strange is like, oh yeah, I saw us all as zombies that one time. You know what I mean? Like,
no. In the amount of infinite universes and possibilities he could have seen, I think that's absolutely 100% possible.
Yeah, but this is the great thing. You don't have to make it a TV show where it just happens because, like it does in the comic books. You can actually have it happen for a reason, and that's because dimensions are smashing into each other. I think, too, if you are going to introduce mutants, you need a event this big to explain it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I can't just pick up issue 4 of the local comic and go, oh, by the way, tell the others mutants. Like, you can't do it. It has to be, you know, we've had world-ending events. We need to have, like, a universe-ending event to kind of, I think, introduce that kind of change to the MCU.
Yeah.
So, alright, so what character would you like to see, Ethan, with an alternate actor or actress, and who would you like to see cast as that character? Anyone you wished. Whether they've played it before or completely new, I don't mind.
It's hard. Let me think on it. Give me a minute.
Alright, Barney, have you got any ideas on pick a character and who would you like to see, you know, completely different actor, or, you know, like we've joked, like, you know, Terrence Howard coming back as Rhodey, like anything like that. What would you like to see on the screen? Like
current MCU?
Yeah, as in the MCU as we know it. Let's say that, you know, whether it's a TV show or a movie coming soon, if the multiverse starts smashing into each other and we get some weird shit, either a character you've seen previously, like say Andrew Garfield coming back, or a existing character like Iron Man being recast and you know, with Tom Cruise or something. What character, what actor would you like to see? It is a tough one.
This is straight off the top of my head. I think it would be absolutely amazing. Ben Affleck comes back as Daredevil.
You know what? It's not as dumb as it sounds, but yeah.
I got one.
Yeah.
I got one that actually almost happened. Bruce Campbell as Mysterio.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah. He was supposed to be Mysterio in Spider-Man 4, and they'd already cast John Malkovich as Vulture for Spider-Man 4 before it all got cancelled. It was the fact that Bruce Campbell was in each of those 3 Spider-Man movies, the Raimi ones, but he played a different person in each one. Raimi was like, oh no, yeah, he's going to be Mysterio in number 4.
Okay, yeah.
I feel like that would be fucking... Because, I mean, Bruce Campbell's fucking weird and wacky as fuck, so...
He is, absolutely.
Him as Mysterio would be great.
Yeah. For me...
I mean, although, like, as Manny said before, if at the end of Spider-Man 3, Toby Maguire and Andrew Garfield come out, I think I would probably have a heart attack if that fucking happened.
It'd be pretty amazing.
It would.
But
I don't think nothing...
Actually, I would love Alfred Molina to reprise his role as Otto Octavius. I would love Alfred Molina.
You know what I'm saying, but like, what about Willem Dafoe as...
Willem Dafoe as Goblin?
Green Goblin. Yeah, I'd like to see, you know, I mean, just as a side, this is not my choice, but I would be keen to see, say, the Spider-Verse animated show kind of almost flip into the live-action movie where you have, you know, Gwen and Miles and all that, and along with, you know, Garfield and Tobey Maguire, all just sort of come through a portal towards, you know, the end of the film and go, hey, what's up? And then just everybody just jizzes everywhere on the screen.
Spider-Ham can fuck off, though.
What's wrong with Spider-Ham?
Nah. And same with, like, the Duck.
Howard the Duck?
Yeah, Howard the Duck. Like, I get it.
What about the mecha robot Spider Girl? The Japanese mecha robot girl.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, but like, I think Spider-Ham and Howard the Duck are going too far in terms of satire.
Yeah.
Like, just that...
Well, don't forget the dog.
Like, snaps.
Don't forget the dog.
Hey?
There's also the dog.
Yeah, true.
He's also in the museum. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, my one thing, if I could have anything, my one thing would, it could even just be a cutaway scene. I really wouldn't mind. I would really love to see now it's been
Oh,
a few years.
Go on.
Yeah, I'd really love to see them.
Thomas Jane?
Sorry?
Are you going to say Thomas Jane?
No, I want to see them pick up the Defenders and put them in a scene.
Okay.
I would love to see... I mean, those actors gave so much to those roles, and for so long there was allusions and hints and tidbits and all this sort of stuff. I would really love for the dividends to be paid, those actors to have even if a small contract picked up for a film. I mean, we've heard rumours that Charlie Cox may be in Spider-Man 3.
I was going to say that one, yeah.
So again, this sort of, even if that's even slightly true, again, that would lead more credence to this whole mashup thing. But I would love to see... Even if it's just as Strange is blasting through universes, we see New York and the Defenders fighting on the street, and there's a short scene, and we get to see Charlie Cox and what's his face, Luke Cage and Jessica Jones, all of them there just for a scene, just so that you can then go, you know what, there it is, it's linked in, guys, we did it, it's canon. Bam.
And it wouldn't even have to be like a newly filmed scene. You can literally just take one of them fighting on the street.
Yeah, I just want to see them acknowledge the fact that the Defenders existed and it was a thing. And and as much as I love Punisher, he doesn't fit there. He just wouldn't fit. That's fine. Just do the fucking Defenders, put them in a scene. I mean, if it was just stock footage, fine. I would love to see a fresh scene, though. I would love to where some shits... Maybe the Defenders are fighting Thanos from Endgame, because it's a different universe. And then Strange comes down and goes like, boom, 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 and gives them a hand. And then he's like, do you have this stone? No, okay. And then fucks off to, another dimension. Whatever. But something like that, just to acknowledge the Netflix shows. Because by that stage, too... by now already, the contracts are... The 2-year... deal is...
So Daredevil's already gone back. Daredevil went back early, and I think Iron Fist and Luke Cage go back next year sometimes. Jessica Jones is different because she ended up getting the 3rd season. Yeah. And it came out late, so her rights are taking a little bit longer to get back.
But I mean, Strange is still a couple of years away, so, But I'm just like, it's a daydream. I know it probably will never happen. It's me clinging onto the past, but I would really... I felt my heart went out to Charlie Cox. I mean, he put out a few statements after they cancelled Daredevil. Like, that hurt him. Like, he really threw himself into that role. He gave it absolutely everything, and he thought he was going to be playing that role for a while. And I know it really just shattered him when they axed it. I think it just really shattered him. And...
Did you hear about him when he auditioned for Solo?
No.
He auditioned for Han Solo in the Solo movie.
Right.
He said he went into the audition, but he'd gotten so used to playing Daredevil that his eyes were just like blank. He wasn't doing anything expressive because he was used to playing a blind guy.
Yep.
So it fucked up the entire audition for him.
Wow, yeah, because he did that really well. Like, I mean, I have a blind niece, and I lived with her for a while, and watching him, I can tell you, if you're not familiar with blind people, like, he's acting on the way he's, and not just his eyes, the way he moved his head, his mouth, like, everything was, like, he obviously spent time studying blind people because he was on point with that shit. Like, absolutely on point. And I just think it's sad that the whole thing kind of ended in this pissy bitch fight between Marvel and Netflix and Disney, and some great shows, which I think were still going places and still had stories to tell, got lost. And I'd just love to see a tip of the hat to sort of acknowledge their hard work before we move on with everything else. Because they never got the ending. They never really got the ending that they deserved. So that would be my one thing. If I could have anything, I'd like to see that. And obviously there's been rumors about that. That was actually from Kevin Smith. Yeah, he was the one that had sort of... He said that he had heard from someone else, and that he didn't know it was true or not, but he had heard a rumor, and he tweeted that he had heard a rumor that, Cox may be involved in Spider-Man 3. As a lawyer, I think was what he said. He may be like Spider-Man's lawyer or something like that. And of course, when that got out, and it was just a rumor, but when that got out, everyone just lost their shit. So now you've got the fact again that you've got Jamie Foxx. Now he's obviously saying, he's a different color or whatever, and he's perhaps not the same Electro, but clearly the lines are being blurred here, and hopefully anything's possible.
Yeah, one can hope.
One can only hope. And this is the thing. I'm sure Feige. I mean, Marvel's never been too worried about what DC's been doing. It hasn't been for a while, but. Even if you're a staunch Marvel fan and not big on DC, everybody's pretty fucking hyped about what's happening with The Flash and this whole, you've got
Michael Keaton and all that.
Michael Keaton coming back. Like, everybody is just fucking hyped now. And I'm sure it hasn't blown over Feige completely. He must be looking at it thinking, we could do this. And he may have been thinking this for a while, but they could do this. Marvel has lots of universes. So, I mean, I wonder though, do you think there's people out there that might object? Is there people out there who think that would just prefer a less cluttered, more pure, quote-unquote, kind of MCU experience?
No, I think those who go to Marvel movies not knowing anything about Marvel are just there to see the movie itself and all the special effects, and they'll follow their favorite characters or whatever, but fans of the Marvel series, they want the multiverse. Like, that's what we want.
Do you think, being that I mean, obviously they've dialed down some of the storylines in the MCU compared to the comics, because obviously comics can go for years and you can explain a lot more. Do you think that some of this, or even let me rephrase, do you think a lot of this multiverse stuff will get shoved into TV shows rather than movies because of the complicated storylines and things like that? And so with a TV series, you could take longer to explain things? Or do you think that they're not too worried about that based on time travel in Endgame, and they're like, you know what, fuck it, audiences can handle this, let's just slam them with multiverse shit?
I think they are not concerned with the duration of movies anymore. Like, Endgame was, 2.5 hours?
Three.
3 hours? Yeah. So
to the minute almost.
They clearly will take the time to tell a story. So, who knows? Will we get 4-hour movies?
Yeah, it'd be a hard point. I'm not going to say no, never. But I think
we'll get a 4-hour movie turned into a 4-part TV show airing on HBO Max.
Yeah, I think there's definitely, because there's a lot to consider there in terms of money, and Disney's very money conscious, and the longer a movie runs, the less times you can run it per day, which is less revenue per day, and they do absolutely think about these things. And Disney has also had problems where they make certain cinemas charge more for the tickets. So if you, especially here in Queensland, Brisbane, you go to an event cinema who normally do like $7.50 tickets, $6.50 tickets for adults, they will charge you about $8 or $10 now for a Disney movie, because Disney insists on a bigger payday. So Disney, I think, is far too money conscious to do a 4-hour movie. I just don't think they'd ever do it, because they just couldn't make enough money off it. Not in a cinema. And that's why you've got Disney Plus now, because that means they can go, okay, you know what? Do you need 4 hours to tell this movie? Cool, then we'll turn it into a 4-part miniseries and stick it on Disney Plus. I think that's what they'll do.
Well, and that's the other thing, like our current living situation, with COVID happening, perhaps they may have no choice but to move a lot of the storytelling to a TV series, so it becomes a lot more important to watch the Marvel TV series before watching the movies, or if you want to get the full story, you'll need to watch both.
Oh yeah, definitely. I don't think you're going to be able to skip the Disney Plus stuff. I think you're going to have to watch the Disney Plus stuff to fully appreciate what's happening with the, and that's part of Disney's plan, I'm sure. I mean, then you have to subscribe, and they're making more money off you. So yeah. I didn't put up a thing on the Facebook last time about the last topic, but this one's an easy one, and I could just put up on our Facebook, how hyped are you for a mashed up Marvel Multiverse? I think overwhelmingly, I think people are going to be keen for it. But I do suspect there'll be a few people that are thinking, like, Tony Stark died, let the character die. I think there's going to be a few people that really liked Downey's performance and may not like Tom Cruise, and they may not be interested in seeing the character played by somebody else for whatever the reason. I think there are going to be a few people like that.
Yeah, and this would be the moviegoers.
The ones that aren't so much on the comic books and stuff. Yeah,
because comic book enthusiasts are used to just having characters die, come back, die, be played by someone else, die, then the original comes back. I mean, name a Marvel character, or name a good guy in Marvel that hasn't had an Iron Man suit on him at some point. Like, just about everyone's got an Iron Man suit at some point. Even a few villains. Like, it goes on everyone. I mean, I remember the comic book series with Captain America, and he's in an Iron Man suit with stars and stripes on it. It's just, it's all over the place.
Yeah, but we'll put that poll up. We'll see if we can get anybody that actually thinks it's a bad idea. I'd be interested to hear just a different opinion, to be honest. Because I think it'd be hard to find, but I think there might be a few. Yeah, interesting subject, and unfortunately all we can do is wait. And maybe hope for some leaks. Maybe.
I'll be all over those leaks.
But at this stage, if you're enjoying the MCU, when the last thing we had was Far From Home, which was, early last year or something?
This is the first year there hasn't been a Marvel movie in 12 years.
There hasn't been what?
This is the first year there hasn't been a Marvel movie in 12 years.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's phenomenal. So, big gap. Next thing that's coming, I believe, is probably going to be WandaVision. Hopefully before the end of the year. So, not much longer. We're in October now, so it's really only got a couple of months left. And then we can get back into some MCU action. Stuff is coming next year. You're going to have to wait till May, I think, now, until we get a cinema release. And that'll be Black Widow. At last. Long last. Christ. Scarlett Johansson's aged 15 years since they shot that. So it's happening, yeah. Any idea what's coming out in the streaming services or the cinemas, Ethan?
Yep, so we have The Haunting of Bly Manor, comes out on October 9th.
Well, that sounds alright.
If you've watched The Haunting of Hill House, it's a sequel to that, but it's an anthology show, so it doesn't link up with the last one at all.
Like American Horror Story kind of thing. Yeah. Still, that was a great first series. Like, I really enjoyed that.
I haven't actually watched it.
It's pretty spooky. I've been
meaning to watch it, yeah.
Well, I won't spoil it for you. It's pretty. I mean, you got Halloween on this month. Maybe that's one to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was quite well. In fact, I might actually go and watch that again. I mean, I know the catch now, unfortunately, but it was actually really good. So when's that come out again? Sorry.
October 9th, so this Friday.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense too, because Halloween's coming up. Yeah, cool, keen, super keen.
There's Hubie Halloween. That's Adam Sandler's new movie.
Pass.
Yep, big pass. New season of Star Trek Discovery starts next week.
That's going to excite a lot of people.
Netflix.
Not me.
The Trial of the Chicago 7 is next week. Netflix movie.
Yeah. Now, who's in that? That's got a cast too, from memory. That's
Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah.
Eddie Redmayne.
Yeah.
Abdul Mateen from Aaron Sorkin. Big movie.
Yeah, another serious role for
Yeah.
Because Sacha, he got up and made a political statement not that long ago too about
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Politics and stuff like that. Like he's
yeah. Otherwise, there's not a whole lot else. Last episode of The Boys this week.
Yep.
And yeah, there's not a lot. Still pretty slow, even on the other streaming services too.
Yeah. Well, I've seen Harley Quinn's banging around. Joker's banging around. You can catch up on some older stuff still. Yeah. I mean, I've been watching Raised by Wolves, but that's ended now. So
yeah.
But we're getting there. We got Mandalorian coming out. When's season 2? Is that this year?
End of this month.
Yeah, so there's stuff coming. Like it is starting to. We had The Boys. There's stuff there. There's stuff coming. I'm sure there'll be a few surprises for Halloween.
Definitely.
Speaking of which, next time we have an episode, it's pretty much going to be the week of Halloween. So I know we've done some Halloween stuff before on the show. We've had that topic before, I think. I'll go back through.
I think we have, yeah.
But we might do something. We might do something Halloween related. We might do sort of our updated top 3, top 5 horror films or something, or shows or whatever.
Yeah.
See how we go. We're gonna get Jesse back on for an episode too, because Lucas is got tested for COVID again. I think he's still waiting for the results, but he's pretty bloody crook at the moment. So, and he's lost most of his voice, so he may not be joining us for the next episode either. So we might get Jesse's. I know is a big horror fan as well. So we might. And I know Lucas is doing his horror monthly. He's doing the Spooktober thing or whatever. But we might get Jesse in and do some more horror stuff. We'll see how we go. But that's probably it for this one.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, Barney.
Yeah, not a worry.
Always appreciated. Thanks as always for looking after the news, Ethan.
All good.
I'm going to thank our Patreon supporters who are continuing to give us money. Fuck knows why. Thank you very much, though. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Oh, and Ethan as well. We pretty much support ourselves. Yeah. Let's not lie. It's just us. It's just us. No, we do have some legitimate Patreon supporters, and I thank them. I don't update it as much as I should, but it's appreciated, and they help us, keep things like our SoundCloud going and keep this websites alive and all the rest of it. So it's appreciated. News is starting to pick up, so we'll just see how we go. It might be 2 weeks, but it's probably going to be 3, just because we don't have the same, we don't have as much releases. News is really starting to pick up, but we don't have the releases just yet. It's going to take a couple more months. But I do want to get back to the 2-week turnaround on these if we can. Otherwise, it's just going to, like this one, we had like news for like 40 minutes or something. It's just going to get a bit long. So, but anyway, we'll wrap this one here. Thanks for listening. Hopefully you'll tune in to us for the next episode. It'll probably be Halloween related, so it could be cool. Until then, look after yourself, stay indoors, stay healthy, stay clean, stay safe, all that jazz. And we'll catch you in the next episode. Dun 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 dun.